Today, we're going to talk about something that's super simple, but honestly, one of the most powerful tools you have as a programmer, the Python comment. Getting this right will make you a way better collaborator and, trust me, a much happier coder.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You open up a project you wrote 6 months ago, maybe even just last week, and it's like trying to read a secret language that you yourself invented and then promptly forgot. It is so frustrating. Well, the good news is there's an incredibly simple solution baked right into Python. It's a way to leave little breadcrumbs, helpful notes, and clear signposts for your future self and for anyone else who happens to look at your code. And that, of course, is what comments are all about.
Okay, so let's get right into it. What exactly are these secret notes? And how do they exist inside your code without, breaking everything? So this is the most important thing to get. A comment is just text that Python completely 100% ignores. When you run your program, the computer just skips right over it like it's not even there. Its entire reason for being is for humans to read. And this slide just shows that difference perfectly. Look, the code on the left, area equals 5 times 3, that's an instruction for the computer. It's a command. But the line on the right, the one starting with that little hash symbol, that's a note for you. It's giving you context that the machine doesn't care about, but that a person absolutely needs. All right, so now that we're clear on what they are, let's look at the couple of ways you can actually write them in Python. Think of these as the two main tools you've got in your commenting toolkit.
And yep, that's it. There are really just two main flavors of comments you need to get the hang of, which makes getting started super easy.
So first up, you've got your single line comment. Anything on a line that comes after a hash symbol, yep, a hashtag is a comment. Simple as that. You can pop it on its own line before some code or tack it on the end of a line for a quick little note. Then you have your multi-line comments, which you'll often hear called doc strings. You make these by wrapping your text in a set of triple quotes. These are awesome for explaining the purpose of a whole function or a bigger chunk of code.
Okay, this is where things get really interesting. Knowing the syntax, knowing how to type a comment, is the easy part. But knowing when and why to write a comment, that's what really separates good code from truly great readable code. This is all about strategy. It's such an important question, right? Because a bad comment can be just as useless or honestly sometimes even more confusing than having no comment at all. So what's the secret? Now check this out, because this slide really nails it. The comments on the left, it's bad because it's just stating the obvious. We can literally read the code and see that it's calculating an average. It adds zero new information. But the comments on the right, now that is a good comment. It clarifies what kind of average, the average marks per subject. It explains the why, the intents behind the code. So if we boil it all down, here are the golden rules. Your mission is to explain the why, not just the what. Use comments to help someone understand a really tricky piece of logic, or use them to give a quick summary of what a whole function is supposed to accomplish. And whatever you do, please avoid just repeating what the code already says. So let's zoom out. Why does all this matter so much? I mean, it's just a few extra lines of text, right? Well, let's bring it all together. I just love this way of putting it. Every single comment you write is basically a gift. It's a message you're sending through time to help out the next person who reads this code, and let's be real, that person is probably going to be you. It turns your code from just a bunch of instructions into a story. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. The next time you're coding, just take that extra 10 seconds. Add a clear, helpful comment. Because the real question isn't just about what your code does today, it's about what story it's going to tell you and everyone else tomorrow.